Right then, folks, I think I made a bit of a ball.
Good morning, everybody. So, day two, day three. Let's call it day three. So in the last video, although I may very well combine it into this one because the footage from the last one is a bit naff. It's not all there because I had lots of issues with all of the recording. It was just ridiculous. So the last time I'd completely insulated the floor, put down the old boarding on the floor because there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason for me to get brand new flooring and pay out another 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds for ply to go on the floor. It just doesn't make any financial sense whatsoever. There's just no point. If stuff is good in your van already, just reuse it, cover it, paint it, clean it up, reuse it. There's no point in just wasting money because it looks new. It just doesn't make any sense really, financially or logically. So we've done that. We have put the sound deadening in all down the sides apart from where the windows are going to go. And the difference is just absolutely spectacular already. It's just, instead of that horrible tinny, there's just a thud now, which is exactly what we want. So today's job is to put in the fleece, the thermal fleece. Right then, folks, so we have now the Dodo Mat Fleece Evo, it's called. So it's about 50mm thick. It's fire tested. It's made from recycled bottles. It just says it's high performance thermal insulation. So it comes part of the kit. We're using this. This is what I want to use. This is my preference and my personal choice. It's also what I know other people use. Other people will use the recycled plastic bottle insulation. It's very good thermal insulation. So this then goes on top of the sound deadening mat, and then on top of this will go the thermal blanket layer, which I'm assuming has to be taped on, but I have yet to find my tape. I did order a load of silver tape to go with it. I don't quite know where it is yet because I have about sort of 15 boxes just spread between the van and the garage. So we'll get to it and find it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to get on, I'm going to start insulating it. We're going to spray it just with a bit of this high temp spray adhesive. Oh, right folks, so that's 2 rolls of that insulation. The that we've used, and we still have quite a fair bit to cover. We've still got the back doors to do, we've still got the top of this door to do, the bottom of this door to do, we still have all of the gaps in between. So my assumption is, I might have ordered the medium wheelbase rather than the long wheelbase kit, but I think they only come in a medium and a large, and I'm pretty sure I've ordered a large, although I will double check. The other thing is that maybe it's just a generic calculation based off a generic kind of size of van. But either way, there isn't enough. There just isn't enough insulation, because I haven't even done that bit. I haven't even done that bit where the windows are going to go. So either way, there wouldn't have been enough anyway. So I'm going to fly off to B&Q in a bit. I'm going to get some more of this plastic insulation roll. I think, looking at it, I'm probably going to maybe need another 4 rolls in all seriousness, because all of these voids, if I didn't want to fill the voids, I'd probably just need maybe another 2 rolls, maybe 1.5. But because I want to fill all the voids, that's probably going to take up at least a roll just doing half a van of these voids. So I reckon I'm going to need at least 4. So I'm going to fly off, get some more, and then we shall resume this shortly.
A few minutes later.
Alright folks, so a short interlude while we nipped to B&Q, and we had a bit of lunch as well. Let me just get out of the way of that. We have 4 rolls from B&Q of the plastic insulation. That's about £22 a roll. So we're going to crack on now, finish the rest of the insulation. I am not insulating the roof. Same reason that I haven't really insulated the floor either. But there is a lot of condensations in these bigger vans, and then I'll just end up trapping it. So I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to bother. So we're just going to go ahead, finish insulating everything. That may be about it today, but we'll see. Right, so yeah, I haven't done this bit or that section. The external hookup is going to go in there, so I need to put that in first. I think I'll do the barn doors, do them. I'm not going to do every single nook and cranny in here, because I will be doing that forever and need to get a bit of air circulation in the actual external frame as well, which will help with the condensation. So let's get on with the other stuff. So the light is on. I didn't particularly want that camera, but the other one that I misordered doesn't actually fit on there. There's a problem with the bolt. It's like the bolt's too long, the stud's too long. So I've had to use the other one. And then I've got to try and thread it through there somewhere. So I need to find some strong wire so that I can tape the thing up and then run it through there and then run it across the top. Right then folks, good morning. Today's tasks, we haven't quite finished off the insulation. There's one more kind of layer to do, but before I do that I have to fit this, which is the external electric couple. I was going to have one of these originally, but I've decided that I do want one. I want it kind of tidy. I don't want wires everywhere. So literally we're going to kind of put this into the side of the van there. we're going to use the rubbish rubber gasket as the template, and then we're going to cut it out with the jigsaw on the side of the van, and that is literally what we're going to do. I think as well I might try and find a piece of wood to just put behind there so that I can screw this to the piece of the wood as well, and then put loads of Sikaflex in it just to give it that kind of extra seal. And then once that's all done, all the stuff is ready to go and put in that side of the van. So let me just get prepped, let me get everything together, and then I'll get going. Right then folks, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a little bit of wood. Had some ply lying around in the garage already from previous van builds. What we're going to do is we're going to use the template from the back of the outlet. Going to draw a rough square. It doesn't need to be massively square because it's literally getting shoved all behind the paneling anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to mark it out now, and I'm going to cut it out with the table saw. So literally. Alright folks, so that's it really. There's not a lot else to do with that. You don't obviously need to cut the hole as big as this. You could just use a big hole saw if you've got one. I haven't got a ball saw, so I'm doing it this way. So now we're going to land it up on the van, and please remember that when you're doing anything in your van you can't use a spirit level, because whatever ground you're on, it's not going to be flat and perfect. Your suspension isn't going to be completely level and flat and perfect. So if you're on a drive, most drives will have 1 or 2 slopes to drain off the water. So I mean, I can already tell looking at my van kind of slides down that way. So it's not going to be level, so I can't use a level, spirit level, to make sure everything's level. Just lots of measuring basically. There's lots of lines that are vertical and straight and square within the van anyway, so I'm just going to go off of them and measure out of them. So we'll go and cut it. We're probably going to go and cut it from the inside. At least I can see where it is lining up with the with the structure of the van. So I can kind of measure off the side of there. It shouldn't take very long at all really once it's all lined up. So I'll go do that. Right then folks, I've managed to find a hole saw. I have loads of stuff in my garage I don't even know. So we are going to literally bonk it there. And we're going to drill it. There is enough space, kind of, if I just show you, there is enough space around there to be able to twist, so it's not going in as a static fit, so to speak. So once it goes in, I'll be able to kind of twist it, lining up, make sure that it's straight basically. So that is what we're going to do now. Different drill. Take 2.
Five minutes later.
Take 3. Take 4.
364 days later.
Right, step 2, after doing this for bottles, get some hammerite paint on it, clean up. I've already cleaned up the outer edge here, make sure it's not sharp and horrible. Then I'm going to apply some hammerite to it just to protect it basically. Right then folks, so got it cut out, got it touch dry, touch dry. We're now going to stick it in, screw it in. So we have Sikaflex EBT Plus, it's adhesive sealant and filler. I've used this Sikaflex or Tiger Seal in various kind of guises throughout the T4 as well, and that's because not only is it an adhesive, an extremely strong one. I mean, you can get CT1, which we'll probably use to put the panels up on the roof, but that's then you've got the pressure of the wind coming under trying to lift the panels up, so you want some kind of almost like automotive bonding. Well, the modern cars, they stick them together now, so with this we're just going to put some on the back of here. We're going to stick it in, and then we're going to screw it through the holes there, and that's pretty much it in. And then we're going to also glue this, bond that in at the back there, and then we're going to screw through this kind of with the screws as well, just to give us some extra purchase basically. So that's that. I'm going to go around, do this from that side. You won't really be able to see me because there's a very narrow gap down the side of there, so it'd be very hard to kind of film, or maybe I'll set up the tripod, I don't know. But yeah, let's go and do that. Yeah, so one of the things I just don't like about kind of Tiger Seal and Sikaflex is that it literally goes everywhere. It's absolutely nasty. That's basically it. Just got to go around that side, screw it in now. Right then folks, I think I made a bit of a balls up. I've put all of this plastic fleece liner in obviously, but having a look at the stuff, I was under the impression that what I was getting was like a foil kind of blanket thing that I've seen on other stuff, and it's not. This is almost like the stuff that's on the floor, so I think potentially I'm going to have to take all of this insulation out of these panels and then put that liner in. So it's a thermo-acoustic liner. It's self-adhesive, so you've got to kind of peel off the backing and stick it on, and obviously there's no way of sticking it on. So I think, yeah, I'm going to have to take out all of the plastic insulation, and then put all of this back in within the rounds of the panels again, and then put the bloody fleece back on again. What a pain in the butt. But that's my fault. That's my fault. I believed I was doing it the right way, but obviously I wasn't. So let's remove all of the fleece lining then. Yeah, can't wait for that. Brilliant.
Right, done. I don't know why I did that. I assumed that it was just a normal sort of, when you look at people doing van insulation, they tend to use like a almost like a foil that goes over the entire kind of van, and I believed it was that. So we've done that now, which has now taken the entirety of the day to do, but that's fine. The bed I was hoping to do today is going to have to change, because I've noticed that the brackets that I have aren't quite the right size to fit in the middle of the metal rails, and I think it's going to be too low as well. So I'm going to have to get some wood tomorrow, run down the sides, the insides of these kind of walls to sit on top of the rails there, and then basically bed frame it onto there, so it just kind of rises it about another 3 or 4 inches. But I think that'll be plenty of space under in the garage then. And that's about that, really. There is enough of this left to do bloody loads of stuff, so I'm not going to do that door because it's going to be too much of a pain in the ass trying to fit it all inside that door. Obviously I've got to wait for the windows to go in. Once the windows are in, I can then kind of sound dead, insulate whatever around the windows. So the next step is going to be putting the bed in. So I'm going to go in now and start editing the footage basically, and looking for bits and bobs for the van. So catch you later.